Well, good morning, friends and neighbors. This is your old pal, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm here to give a video response to a comment that was made the other day on a video that I posted of myself and my pastor singing at our church. And this friend of mine, who shall remain unnamed, except that he is formerly from the United Kingdom. He now lives in France, in a town of Azay-les-Ferrons. And parlez-vous français? Je m'appelle Josh. And for the rest of you who don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Harry Faber. And he said that he saw this video of two elderly gentlemen singing a song. Well, I have a question for Harry Faber. Which elderly gentleman do you know that could unload all of this stuff and move it all out to his garage, including freezers, including moving his toolboxes and all of that good stuff, and vintage jelly cupboards and all the boxes and bins, and yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you that this 70-year-old man is not elderly yet. Elderly gives the connotation of being doddering and unable to get around on his own 2 feet. Well, that's not what this video is about. Just a good shout out to my good friend Harry Faber, and I know he was doing it in jest. So let me take you down here what we are talking about today. Today, because I'm continuing with my process of getting ready to move, we have to deal with the goofy cart. And not only deal with it, I want to get it running enough so that I can drive it into the covered trailer that I'm renting to haul it. I don't care if it drives far, and I don't care if it drives fast, as long as it starts on its own and goes on its own, and that's all we're concerned about at this point. So we have a couple of things to do. The first of which is replacing the battery. I already took the old battery out. Let me swing you around here. And I haven't finished cleaning my benches off yet. I have moved my toolbox and I've emptied a lot of stuff. And I've emptied out my gardening shed that had the lawnmowers and all that stuff. By the way, if anybody's interested and you're in the Dodge Center area, and you want to buy a nice Ariens Emperor lawnmower with a V12 and a half horsepower conversion on it, mine is for sale. So anyway, after the winter was over, I came out here to try and start the goofy cart, and that battery was deader than 3 doornails. Let me turn the monitor around so I can see what I'm pointing at. Yeah, it was deader than 3 doornails. And I have no complaints at all, because I got this battery from the dump over 3 years ago. And it has been starting and motorating the goofy cart all this time. So I have broken down and I bought a brand spanking new battery. And you know me, I like to have things color-coded. And look at this puppy. It's all sleeved in plastic. It's orange, bright orange, dude. So anyway, let me unpack it here. Take the sleeve off of it. Let me do it on the bench so I don't drop it on the floor. And we'll take it over and let me see. Has a nice cover here. factory cover for the positive side of the terminal. And I have mine set up so that it's on top and not on the sides like this one is. Well, we'll see. First thing to do is to bring it over and to set it in place. Now I bought this battery because it is a direct replacement for the one that we took out. So it will fit right down in here, just like we planned it. Yeah, and I think I'm going to go back to mounting this on top. Well, I could go to the side with this, I guess. Yeah, I could do that. I probably could do that. So let me do that. I'm going to mount this one to the side anyway. And put this cap down here. And yeah, we're getting close. I'm running out of time actually, because I am leaving. What is today? Today is Tuesday. I will be leaving on the 30th, which will be a week from Thursday. A week and 2 days from now. I will have picked up my rental vehicles on Monday, which would have been yesterday, and maybe I should put, okay. Yeah, that's going to work fine and dandy like that. So I am renting a 26-foot U-Haul truck and a dolly, car dolly, with which I will be towing my HHR behind the truck. And then I have rented I think a 5x8 cargo trailer, covered trailer, to haul a Goofy card in. And it remains to be seen at this moment if I will be actually putting the lift in the cart with the Goofy cart, or if the lift will be set up separately. It depends a lot on a couple of things. I said that I have my Ariens Emperor for sale. If I sell my Ariens Emperor, then I won't need to haul that. I hate to sell it because I'll tell you what, and I think I'll do a brief video for you guys. It starts so well. I had to put a charge on the battery after the winter was over. I had tried starting it once during the winter and it fired, but the battery was low enough that it wouldn't, I couldn't get it to crank up the second time. And that was when it was down around 0 degrees. And so anyway, I charged it and that puppy started right up, and it starts so well and it runs so smoothly. Couldn't ask for a smoother running tractor. And everything works well, and I put a, come on. I put a set of wheel stops on it because the one problem that I was having with it was that it would go over center. My front wheels would go over center if I turned too sharp. So I put some wheel stops on it. Well, goodness gracious, sakes alive. Having a hard time getting this bolt started. Okay, so we have the battery all in place down in there, all bolted back down. And I put gas in the tank. Let me close the choke. I guess all we gotta do is see if it'll start. I'm gonna give it a hand choke here. Come on, girl. Well, why aren't we? Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I've got to hook my brakes back up. I need to put this other band on. I will be changing the brakes around after I get to Tennessee, Lord willing. And I already have it in mind that I may be putting disc brake on it. Disc brake or disc brakes, plural, we'll see. And the other thing I have to do is over here, I need to put my my chain tensioner back on here. And so we're just going to put the brakes back together the way they are. That's good enough. We're only going to be driving it up into the trailer, and it'll stop it at very slow speeds like that. Just for whatever reason, it does. Well, I know part of the reason is the rod is being so long. Because it's pushing, it has tendency to bend instead of push all the way. So I may try reversing that first. We talked about that, but I don't have time for that now, so we're going to get this back together. We're going to get this fixed up, and then we're going to let her down, get her off of the lift, and drive it out to the end of the driveway and back, hopefully. And I will be parking it right inside here, right by the door, because I need to finish clearing this area out. Yep, I know I'm bouncing all over the place. I'm going to be parking it right here in front of the door. And so it'll have easy access into the trailer when it comes. And the lift, I've got to get it cleaned up. Definitely change the transmission because it was leaking pretty bad. So we'll be changing that out and putting a 5-speed in it instead of the 3-speed. And it's pretty much a direct swap over. I already have that transmission packed in a box somewhere in a pile of junk. So then once I get this done, then I can finish attacking all of this stuff in here. You know what I'm saying? I've already given away some stuff. Some of the stuff is going to be staying for the new buyer of my home. I've got to unbolt my lathe and take that off. And yeah. So I won't bore you with all that stuff, but we'll see if I could carry you along as I, at least with that part over there, because I'm going to try to make that the permanent fix on it and not just a temporary fix like hooking the brakes back up. Well, we're gonna have to get rid of some things, change some things around. The belt slipping underneath was the big thing, and then for some reason this chain came off. So, yep, I'm going to push it back. It's going to go back in the shop, but the lift has to come out first because the lift's got to get cleaned off, and it's going to stay outside till it gets loaded. So, yeah, it's windy out here. Well, I've put Goofy to bed, and since we worked with him, been clearing out a lot of stuff. What you see on the walls now is what's staying up there, and this is stuff that needs to be packed up, and I've started working on disassembling my lathe, and yeah, still got a lot to do, don't I? Yep, and you wouldn't know it because I got all this stuff here. Brought my table saw up from down in the basement. What a chore that was. Thankful for help from a young fella at the church. The lift gets relegated to the outdoors. It needs a good washing anyway.